Hello, and welcome to Moscato and Tea. This is the show for all things beauty, business, and community with your hosts, Inez and Chiquita, keeping it raw, real, and unfiltered.
And we are back with part 2. And so before we close off with politics, because, I just got it, we always have this question. Now that Kamala has dropped out, what are you guys thinking? Who are you looking at?
I'm looking at whoever's going to be the person. I'm just like, okay, Joe, Bernie, Elizabeth, whoever has my vote.
Yeah. It doesn't matter age or anything like that to you.
It's like, no, it's like how Issa Rae's like, anybody black? I'm like, anybody blue. Yeah. I'm voting for
At this point, we'll just take whatever is
No,
the
we
final.
can just prop Joe up, just wheel him out there.
Oh, my God.
Puppet him. He's a very smart man.
Yeah.
I think he's very qualified for it, but I honestly don't care at this point.
Listen.
Is it anybody but Trump?
Anybody but Trump. It's just a shit show politically.
It really is.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lauren?
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
anybody but
we'll
Trump.
just have a sign up for everybody in their house. Anybody but Trump. Okay.
Let's start a campaign. Anybody but Trump.
Flip my water because that was good tea. Like, woo!
I know. So let's kind of move into kind of what we were talking during the break a little bit, dating, relationships. We won't, harp on it too long, but
why are you over there?
I know it always comes up.
Well,
it's always a good topic for amongst women.
I know.
Well, you cannot have it bring up when we have the love guru.
I know, right?
Your
She's right
job
here.
is so cool.
Exactly.
It is so
When
cool.
she told me you were a love expert, I was like, really?
Yes, it's like she's bomb at her job.
Yeah, she be knowing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's awesome.
Well, this is kind of a question for the room, and Damona being the expert, it just got me to thinking. I'm not going to say no names, but just would you date someone that has a fetish?
I have dated a few people with fetishes.
Tell us more.
Yeah, tell us more.
Okay.
I dated a guy with a foot fetish, which
How
I thought
was that?
weird. He just liked to touch my feet.
Like,
All
is
the
it like a
time.
suck on the toes kind of thing, or just like
Kind of both.
Listen,
both.
I know somebody who likes sucking on toes. Just a whole experience, not from mine, but it was from, we were all out. The fact that he knew the type of nail polishes blew me back.
Wow.
Because he's like, is this OPI or is this SE? Because, OPI chips and this. I was like, I'm
my
done.
God.
But that's how much of a foot fetish he, Yeah, like he knew what kind of, because he's like, I only like certain girls wearing certain kind of nail polishes because they chip and I don't want nail polish chips in my mouth.
Oh my God.
It wasn't that extreme, but he liked feet. He liked to touch feet, kiss feet, suck feet. He liked feet.
So you receiving this though? How did you receive it when he did it?
Yeah.
It was different for me because I was like
Different good or different like?
Well, usually people are like, ew, feet. But he was like, ooh, feet. Right. So it was different.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know.
You wouldn't listen.
I don't know.
You don't even date dudes that be like, hey, beautiful. So much less somebody with a fetish.
I don't do that.
I don't, depending on the fetish, I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest, because we all have our certain things that we may or may not like.
What if it's something you don't know if you're comfortable with? Because I went on a date recently. Of course, my dates are like always kind of crazy.
Yours, yes. Yeah, they are. Yes, you
should write a book on it.
Yes.
Dates. So I found out that he likes to be dominated. And I was like,
that's great. That's great for you.
that's what someone else said. That's someone like, you know what? That could actually work for you. But I never thought about it because I don't think in relationships I would be the dominant person.
Really?
I'm submissive, but I guess you wouldn't know that. I didn't know what's clear, what people would think about me. But my friend's like, oh my God, a match made in heaven. And I was like, is it though? And she's like, yeah. And his fetish went to that from like, I just want to see if you can like choke me out with your legs.
Oh.
And I was just like,
so that's a little bit of BDSM as well.
how do I know if
kind of
I know if I could do that? He was just like,
here's the thing. You just have to, sometimes you just have to try.
Is this like a BDSM prerequisite to date you? Like, I had so many questions.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You try it once. If you don't like it, you don't ever have to do it again. Like, that's it. Be like, oh, you know what? I tried it. It's not for me. I'm good.
And there are a lot of things. I've been with my husband now 16 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There are a lot of things at the beginning I was like, oh, hell no. Like, we're not going to be doing that. Like, after 16 years, you're like, okay, I'll try it.
I mean, like, that's to say, you can't knock it till you try. If you already know you're not into it, then you could be like, okay, that's, we all have our, like, no, hell no, that's not happening. But there's nothing wrong with trying something and being like, okay, it's piqued my curiosity. Let me try it. If I don't like it, don't have to do it. Listen, there's all kinds of shit I'd be like, I would have never, and I was like, girl, you crazy.
I think I was worried that if he wanted to be dominated, is that like, okay, is this like a strictly bedroom situation, or is this like like around the house, like just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like I was like, I don't know what that means.
It's separate.
It's okay. Yeah. And sometimes, but here's the thing, like you need to ask him those questions. Like you would be like, okay, so you like to be only in the bedroom? Is it outside of that? Because I didn't
want to get that conversation going the first date.
Yeah,
so I was just like,
honestly, that's a little extreme for a first date anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
so I kind of paused it.
That's a good question. What is a good conversation on a first date?
Not that.
Of course. I'm always
you want to be like, sometimes you want to be like, so are you married on the first? You want to check certain things, but then should you wait? But you don't want to wait too long, and then the girl, baby mama, come show up at your house or something. So what are the right conversations to have on a first date?
I love to just ask questions back and forth. I think it's fun. I think like the last dude I dated, we would just sit and drink wine and just ask questions back and forth. And like one question would lead to another question. This question would lead to this question. And it opens the door for you guys to just really, lay whatever you want out there, but it's a little flirty, it's a little fun, and
I
you're
agree
still
with
getting
that,
to
but
know
I
each
be
other.
thinking dudes be lying. I be like,
exactly.
Is you telling the truth?
But that's your. Damona, am I wrong for this by saying? But if you think dude is lying, that's more your thing than his, unless proven otherwise.
Yeah.
So I should just believe whatever they say because they say
no.
Until he gives you a reason
until you prove. Not unless it's a really hardcore gut feeling, and you're like, this. From deep down in my gut, this doesn't seem right. But if you're just saying, he's lying, I think you're just kind of closing yourself to opportunity.
I didn't say he was lying. I said, I wonder, are they lying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But lie to impress.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times, don't we all kind of embellish a little bit when we're like trying to impress somebody?
I don't mind embellishment.
I mean, like, okay, like I might embellish a little. Like if I say, if they're like, do you run? Yeah, sure, I'll run, And deep down inside, I'm going, bitch, I don't run, It's like down the street, like only to the liquor store. That's where I'm running to. But you know what I'm saying? I might be, like this and be like, oh, you want to go run a marathon? I might be like, okay, time out. I said I ran, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? You might want to just to make sometimes I think people do that out of nerves, but if you're talking a fourth, fifth date and you're like, things aren't adding up, like you're like, okay, I call, you're texting or you're on a date, he's texting or he's saying, oh, that's just my mama. I'd be like, wait a minute, hold up a second. So why is your mama texting you when you're on a date? Like, things like that.
Moms
there's a
text at the
difference
most
between-
inconvenient times. Huh? I said moms text at the most inconvenient times.
Oh yeah, I know.
They do, right?
I know. I have
They
one.
do.
I have one, and I am one. But there's a difference between going in with the assumption that anything they tell you is a lie and listening to your gut.
Yeah,
like she was saying, like being able to check in and figuring out, does that sound accurate? Does that match up with what I saw on his profile? Does that match up with what a little Google search? Don't go crazy on search. That's good. You just don't want to go so deep that there's no discovery left in the date, but deep enough where they check out enough for you to spend an hour with them. I think one of the biggest problems is on the first date, people spend too long. Most first dates, if you're coming from a dating app, especially, and you don't have any friends in common, or you've met, essentially as strangers, an hour is really all you need, an hour to an hour and a half. And so most of us are out here overstaying our welcome on the first date, and then it becomes just word salad of telling everything about, you think you want to say everything about yourself. Let me just put it all out there. Yeah. And if he doesn't like it, then good riddance to him.
Yeah. Right.
And you're trying to get all this information. I need to know if he has every red flag, if he's lying about all of this stuff. That will be revealed over time. You can't get it all out in the first date.
I love that word salad. Word salad. Yeah,
right? Especially after a couple drinks, you know.
Yeah.
Just
So
like,
I mean, so like, but an hour and a half, that actually seems pretty reasonable. Like, it doesn't have to be dinner. It could be
shouldn't
just
be dinner.
It
should not be dinner.
Okay, but like, you know, let it
No, because dinner takes longer than
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you're like, oh, we're going on a date, let's go to dinner.
Yeah.
Or
Not
you know,
first date.
not first. Okay, that's good to know. Like what? A drink?
Coffee.
Maybe? Coffee?
Drink, coffee,
A walk?
something that's
Like
action, action oriented.
Like a-
Like a
okay.
hike
A
in
hike?
LA would be good.
Okay.
As long as it's, you know, Saturday when other people are out.
Yeah,
I'll meet you at 5 o'clock.
Run in. I'll be like, nah, like you tripping right now. But yeah, no, like a day date. You think a
Dates
date
are great for
day
a
date?
first date.
Like
Like a
a-
first
or-
date is just like they say. I used to work in casting, and like they would call it a go see when they're just checking to see if you look like your pictures and like
Right.
if you fit kind of what they're looking for. And you just show up and you're like, okay, good. And that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the whole audition.
Yeah.
That's basically the first date is a go see.
That's see, good information.
That's really good information.
Exactly.
We talk all the time, and we be like, all this. Now I'm going to be a girl. Go see.
Go on your go-see first.
And no word salad.
I think going to go see is definitely a good look.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I definitely, the second date I went on with a different guy, I was expecting him to be, I just had this idea in my head because I have seen
We all do
pictures.
that.
Yeah.
we do
And then like I met him in person. He was like an inch shorter than me, which is fine because I've dated a guy that was like 5 feet. And I was like, maybe 5 feet may be a bit too much for me. But he was just like slightly, he commented towards it. He's like, oh, I thought you said you were 5'2". I was like, I would never tell you I was 5'2" because I'm clearly not 5'2".
Right.
And he was just like, oh. And I was just like, but when I hug him, you know, his face isn't in my boobs.
Yeah, he was like, hey.
I was just like,
God.
Pillows.
so I was just
Messy.
like, no, this is cool. Like, I mean, there
Vulnerable.
are a lot of good short men out there. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everyone has these ideals that the person they meet is competing against. And the longer you stay online or the longer you stay texting with someone, the bigger that idea of the person becomes in your mind and the harder it is for that person to actually measure up. Whatever it is. Like I thought my husband was a little bit more of like a bad boy. I always date a bad boy. But I was doing this thing called Operation Date Nice Guys. And then when he walked in, he was like button-down shirt with a sweater and khakis. And I was like, oh, he's so nice. And then I remembered I was doing my dating plan, Operation Date Nice Guys, and I gave him through the first date and the second date. And it took until the third date for me to really start to feel the feels about him because most people aren't themselves on the first date anyway.
definitely,
You gotta-
not. I'm not.
let
I'm
it
100%
develop.
not myself.
yeah, it takes a
I
little.
brought my computer. I said he fixes computers.
No, you didn't.
I did because I was just like,
Oh my god!
I was like, hey, so
If it doesn't
what
go
kind
well, I'm
of
gonna get my
monitor
computer fixed.
do I need? Because my monitor cracked. And I
I'm
was
done.
like, can you fix it? He's like, yeah, I'll fix it for
I'm
you.
done.
I just need to know what kind of monitor I need to buy to get you. So yeah,
Okay.
I be breaking all the rules anyway, so I might go get my computer fixed.
Oh my God, you're a mess.
Refresher course.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, this kind of goes into the kind of the next topic with the beauty industry, beauty standards, and dating and everything, and women and how they're trying to, you know, meet the expectation of what the perfect, you know, hair, perfect, you know, what is it? Those things that they were waist trainers or perfect size for guys. And there was a little bit of some backlash against Lizzo because she was posting her photos when she's nude on like Instagram and things like that. And just people went in on her and how she shouldn't be doing that. But then, you know.
posting photos of herself.
Yeah.
They were gorgeous and they were beautiful. That was well
It's like
done.
artistic photos.
Yeah,
Like, she's not just out here just.
but it doesn't matter. Even if she's comfortable with who she is. And she likes herself. And so if she decides she wants to take a picture of herself and post it on Instagram, who are we to sit there and try to fat shame her
Right.
because she is comfortable in who she is?
And how is it different from
What's
Kim
the
Kardashian?
Kardashian doing the same thing?
That
The
too.
difference is one paid like $500,000 to look one way and the other one didn't.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Okay, allegedly, that was a lot of work done. You know, even though we have before and after pictures. But anyways, you know, it's just one of those things. I think it's all over the place, but I think it's very more prevalent in your face in LA. because we are in where, it's beauty. We are where it's, entertainment. We are where you have to put a facade of who you are. Coming from San Francisco to here, to LA, it was a really big kind of deal for me, adapting and adjusting to a whole new culture. Because in the Bay, I'm still cute, and I know I'm cute, but that's beside the point. In San Francisco, you are who you are. You meet, you date, you go out. You could be skinny, fat. You could be whoever you are as long as you're yourself and you're comfortable with who you are. So for me, I've always fluctuated with my way. I could be big, I could be small. I never had a problem. I always dated, had boyfriends, and all of that because I was who I am. But when I moved here, like they wanted to put me in a kind of like in a cookie cutter kind of basics to be able to date and figure out, because I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, well, is there a problem here? Because I've never had this problem, but then I realized it's not me. It's what society here makes it. So when we go out, when I go out with, with Chiquita or with Tabby or our friend Tiffany, we all have a different look, and we all have a different.
We definitely have a different look.
We all have a different look.
So different.
We're all so different. We're all so differently aesthetic. And in San Francisco, that was very well welcome. I could go out with all of us are very different, and all of us guys would talk to, and it was never here. I find that to be very intimidating to the opposite sex. Unless we all have a wig that is down our back that's straight, we're all wearing the same tight-fitted dress with our boobs out, and we all wearing the red lipstick, and we're all, because I've seen this, and I go, yo.
Wait, all the girls in
the group look exactly alike.
Yeah.
Then the guys are like, okay, it's kind of like, I almost want to be like a Stepford kind of, like the Stepford wives of dating, because I've seen this. I was like, yo, there's no individuality. When we go out, people look at us like, how are they friends? Because all of us are very different. All of us have our own personalities. All of us like embrace who we are as people. But I've seen it where I've seen a pack of girls all have the same hat, but in a different color. They all have on the same pair of jeans. They all have on almost the same kind of shirt, the same purse, and the same boots. And they're walking together, and guys are like, yes. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is crazy.
One part of that, I feel like guys like what they like. Like, they might just be the look that they like, and they might be the majority of what they're maybe used to seeing or what they usually go for. But then you have the other guys who are looking at us if we go out together.
Right.
And they're like, oh, that girl's my type, or just picking one out of the four to be like.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying. But I find it that's we're a rarity. We're not a majority. I find it more that girls that go out and hang together all look alike.
Well, I see it all the time. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say.
I was just going to really quick just say women also put the pressure on each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's another big problem.
Oh yeah. Women when they go out, like when I used to host events for Match. And they were like, observe what's going on and write some articles about it. And I was like, all the women here are dressing for the women, like, and they're holding off into the corner with their friends, walling off, and so no guys can get to talk to them. And then the girl that shows up, and she's like dressed, and she's living her best life and looking good. They all kind of look at her like, like all the guys are talking to her. It's like, you could do that too. She came by herself. She came feeling good, and she came looking to meet someone. That's the thing. Like, so many times we go out and we don't want to say what we're there for.
Right. Yeah.
We're like, oh, I just hear this so much. Like, women say, oh, I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard. So I'm not going to dress up when I go to the date, and I just want to look like chill. And that, it's like you wouldn't go into a job interview and be like, I just want to look like I don't really want the job that much, and like I'm not trying to to show up that seriously.
I don't think people look at it that way, because I've definitely interviewed people before, and like, or maybe even look at a guy coming to date. One of this guy who's now married, which I think is hilarious, came to the date. He had walked. It was scorching hot outside. He walked to the date. We met at a coffee shop. He's sweating profusely walking in the door. I had my little dress on, only because Damona told me, wear a dress. And I was just like, he sat down. He's like, hey, I'm so-and-so, nice to meet you. And I'm just like, oh, but you're sweating. and he was wearing a sweatsuit, and it was like 100 degrees outside in the valley. I was like, sir.
Maybe he's trying to cut weight or something.
I was just like, this is not.
Guys have their own image issues.
Yeah, I was going to say, they do too.
No, he said, I just wanted to get a little exercise before I came back. I like,
He said he's married now?
he's married now. He was ready. He was just like ready to settle down, looking for like a wife. Like he made that
But he
very
came
clear.
authentic, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he said, "This is what you're getting." I mean, I think.
But the
there- you
second
got-
date, he stepped his game up.
Okay, but I
'Cause
think
I
you have a
complained
point to
about
that.
it. The second
I
date.
did. She did, right? I think you have a point to that. Like, you know, when I'm not, like, I tell my friends, listen, they're like, oh, you don't. I said, listen, I know how to get a date when I want to get a date. If I'm not up to the par of dressing, because that's not my mode right now. I'm in a different mode.
Right.
When I'm in date mode and I want to date and go out, I know how to turn it up, put you, and be ready to go. And because I know, like, now you're like legit putting yourself out there to put, you know, to be ready to, hey, I'm
it's
ready
clear.
now.
Yeah, it's
It's clear.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, one thing just to throw out there, though, I do want to say that I don't think there's it's each person's individual choice. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting certain cosmetic things done if it's for themselves, if they want to feel good about themselves. There are certain people I know that have gotten things done, and it's their own individual choice. They wasn't doing it for somebody else, you know, and trying to be in society.
I'm saving up for my tummy tuck.
Right, girl. And I think that, I mean, that's a whole nother issue, because we all said it. Like, if you look at it, if I said I'm not ugly, I'm just poor, because there's certain things that I would do that if I had money, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna do this because I got the money.
Yeah.
But I don't have the money, so I'm not gonna do it. I just gotta find other ways to do it. But if I had money, shoot, girl, I was like, these would be up to my chin, and I would be like sitting there putting glasses on there and be like, yo, like, you know. But at the end, but that's a personal choice.
Yes.
So what I think I think the problem that we're having is that, you know, when you have social media and, you know, you have these filters, and then you do have celebrities that are out there that are getting work done and not lying about getting the work done. I don't think you should be ashamed. If you decide that's what you want to do for yourself to make yourself feel better, by all means, but don't lie about it, because that puts expectations on women,
especially
and young
people
girls.
who look up to you,
Exactly.
who are
And
fans.
to be on a say and be like, I
Kids.
want to look like you, but that's not how I can get there. Be like, no, girl, guess what? I had to pay to get like this. And I'm happy doing that. And if you want to look like this, you got to save your ducats, your dollars. You got to make sure you got to get a good plastic surgeon. I think there needs to be more information coming from the beauty industry. I think there's a lack of information, and everything is covered. Like, I was like, look, that girl did not wake up like that.
I was going to also say, I think it's important for everyone to understand, especially coming from someone that works in social media and has for a really long time, that a lot of what you see there is not real. There's
Say it one more
so
time.
many. It is not real. Everyone is posting their highlight reel, so they're not posting what is actually happening. They're not posting when they have a bad day. If they are having a bad day, they're probably posting something that happened yesterday when they were having a good day. On top of the editing and filters and all that stuff, it's not real.
It's not real.
100%
And unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
just to the point where it's making it feel people that it's real.
Yeah.
We all know it's not real.
not.
Like, you know, you see these girls, being in the beauty industry, me and another friend who are in the industry, and we're both this, she gets so mad because we have these people out here blatantly lying about their skincare regimen. Oh, I use this soap. Bitch, you didn't use that soap. You went to go see your esthetician who got you, and your dermatologist and all of that. That soap did not do that job, you know. Or the same way, or I use this scrub, this walnut scrub. You know damn well if you're using that walnut scrub, your face is to the floor, and you just basically, or you slept with makeup, and you need something to remove all that. She was saying it, I was dying, to chisel off all that makeup that you slept in last night, so that scrub is going to work, and now you're going to feel like you're fresh and refreshed because you slept with your makeup. But but that's not the reality. The reality is, you know, you have to go see somebody to get your skin clear. Are you really saying, look, I have acne, but I go see an esthetician. I have a skincare regimen. I'm loyal, and that's the thing. Be loyal to your skin. Be loyal to yourself. Be honest. A lot of these celebrities, 90% of them have the worst skin possible you can see. But makeup, filters. You know, dermatologists, lighting, dermatologists, all of that stuff they're doing all of this, and they're just like, oh, I'm just gorgeous, but they got fillers, they got lip injections, they got their brows lifted. I'm like, that's all a lie.
Yeah.
But again, it's up to us to teach ourselves and young girls to
I was just gonna
love
say,
Love
the kids
yourself
are
and know that you're
the most.
enough.
Yes.
and know that you're enough.
Know that you're enough.
That you are enough, who you are. Like, if we were all the same, how boring would we be?
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, how boring would we be?
Yeah.
Girl, can you imagine us the same? Girl, we already get on each other's nerves as is. Can you imagine looking at each other the same way?
Which goes into the next topic. Social media and this cancel culture. It's really been crazy these last couple weeks, couple months, and specifically one that I noticed was with T.I. situation. And how everybody went in on him, and he went on the Red Table Talk to clarify some things, and everybody was just ready to just get rid of him and just cancel him all out. And how society and everybody harps on one thing and just wants to get rid of this one person. I just think it's a little off-putting. And of course, what he did is not, is not right.
What did he say?
I know. Did you watch it?
I didn't see it.
I didn't watch all of it.
I saw.
But the one thing is, I think each individual person raises their child the way they want to raise their child, kind of with the D. Wade type of situation and the cancel culture with that and how he's raising his kids. So it's like everybody wants to have an opinion on somebody else's life. And it's like, let them raise their child how they want to raise them. Is it right what D.I. did? No. And what he said?
But,
no.
I was
just going to say mind your business.
Yeah.
And the likelihood that he said that, there's more.
Things get twisted.
Not only that, but I think that is a more common thing than we actually think.
Yeah.
But
it's also a learning opportunity too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, I would mind my business if it wasn't potentially hurting your daughter and doing a mental a number on her mentally and sending a message to other women that basically, like, if they are not pure, they're not not good women.
Yeah.
Right. And there's still a double standard that
Absolutely.
a boy could do that, a man could do that.
Yeah. I think people were shocked that
allegedly
was here.
Right.
I mean, because people were shocked because it was here and he said it out loud. Yeah. But this goes on in other countries.
Yeah.
All the damn time.
Oh, totally.
It's not.
We continue to accept it.
No, absolutely not.
He's canceled in my book.
Yeah, no. I'm not trying to justify him. I'm just saying that there comes a point where you have to sit there and say, now there are some women going into legislation to go ahead and stop and ban that from happening from now on. It's for a doctor, for a parent to go in and say, can you check to see if she's a virgin? It will be a felony or something like that. They could go to jail. The doctor could lose their license. And all kinds of things are really
or he
going
can just ask.
You can ask.
This girl's like a teenager.
She's 18, I think,
openly.
now.
No, she's 18. And you should be able to be like, and if your child, you got to put yourself too. If your child chooses not to tell you, that is their right and their choice, as long as they're not in danger.
But is it right as a society, everybody to pile on and just be like,
as soon as people get information, they grab on.
But here's the thing.
But
here's the thing. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah. Like, here's the thing. He's putting that shit out for people to judge him and say whatever. You're putting stuff out there. So you have to understand, if you're going to put something out there, you're opening the door to people invading your privacy. Because it doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's just the nature of the beast. If I sit there and say some things and people come at me and I was like, well, shit, if I didn't want comments or shit, I should have just kept it to the people I know.
Can I ask a question, though?
Yeah.
Is Dwayne Wade putting it out there just by taking a family photo and having Gabrielle just post a nice Thanksgiving photo of their family and then having everybody come for his son?
And I go, here's the thing. That's what I was going to say, too, that with him, he's allowed to post his.
Yeah, of course.
But again,
every situation is different.
In a way, he is putting it out there where I'm putting my family photo out there. I am a person that is a celebrity. People look up to me. Same with his wife. Like, at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. If he chooses to support his son, then that is his right. Yeah. He's not invading or demeaning, or if it would have been opposite, people would have been in his ass even more, because now so you're putting your son to the side because he's gay. This is what's wrong with society. Blah 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 blah. Right now that he is being like, look, he's my son. I don't care. I support him. I love him. Whatever. He's healthy. He's a good human being. who, you know, like at the end of the day, who cares? The reason it's different with T.I. was invading his daughter's private and mental health. So that's where people, I think, are trying to, apples and oranges. His daughter, she shut her social media down. She she went into this hiding while his son is sitting out there saying, I am loved. My family supports me, and I'm going to take a picture with my family.
And that's not everybody's story. Some people don't get that support.
And that's the thing. And if he wants to wear a nail polish and his mom and dad don't give zero fucks, who are we if he is happy? And now, if the child was unhappy, and then, I would be like, well, shit, you guys, the child's unhappy. He needs advocates. But he doesn't need advocates. His advocates are his mom and his stepdad. His dad and his stepmom.
Dwayne handled it.
Oh yeah, he did a great job.
It just he didn't engage. He just shut it down. Yeah. He's just like, mind your business. Yeah. This is my choice. Yeah. And if you don't like it,
look away at the picture.
Look away.
Yeah. Look at the picture. Say like they have to look at your social media.
You can block me. Like just get off my page. It is an option. They've been on his ass since he did. They went Pride. But this is what I was telling Chiquita earlier. So why aren't people mad at Magic Johnson and AJ?
They probably are. It's just not.
I'm just saying. AJ is out there doing him, and Magic Johnson supports his son completely. He wears dresses. He wears a purse. He goes. At the end of the day, who gives a shit? Zero fuck. The man is not hurting anybody. He's living his life. He's happy. He's not going out there. I think we got bigger fucking problems than who sleeps with whom.
That's true.
That's kind of That's how I feel about it too. I'm like,
you ain't sleeping with him, so who cares?
Yeah.
You're not part of that family.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Just to go back to your original question, though, about the cancel culture, there is this. I think we are due for due for a correction because it's. Like, I'm so glad that everybody has a voice now.
Yes.
Like, growing up as a black Jewish girl in Michigan, I didn't really feel like I had a voice. So now on social media, I can.
Yeah, right.
But now we feel like we have to weigh in on everything and pick things apart. Like, did you guys see the Peloton ad?
Yes, girl.
People are tripping.
sensitive.
Yeah, and someone on my page posted. So just to get everybody up to speed, it's like this Christmas ad where this woman who's she's like maybe a size 0 or 2. She gets a Peloton from her husband. She's really happy, and then she rides it every day. People are picking apart why'd the husband get her a bike? Why, is he trying to tell her she needs to lose weight? Why is she doing it every day? She needs to chill.
Yes.
Should men get different kinds of ads? It's like,
that's the problem.
And now the guy who is the actor who was in that ad is like, shit, now I'm going to be blackballed because I played a character in a damn commercial.
Yeah.
It's a Like, who cares?
It's nice of him to think that, but no one's going to remember.
But I'm just saying, that's what he said. But, at the end of the day, you're right. So now what? We're so sensitive that, and everybody feels they have a right to everybody, whatever anybody does in their life. Look, we have I'm not hurting any, as long as we're not hurting anybody.
Absolutely.
I don't see what's wrong. We got people out.
The reality is that the Peloton shares went down 9% in value in one day just because people were like, cancel Peloton. And I was like, my husband gave me a Peloton this fall. I was so happy. and I'm crazy. I do ride my Peloton. Not 5 days in a row. That was a little extreme. But it's like, they couldn't have done right with that.
They couldn't. No matter how they did that ad, it would have been where, if she would have been like, I'm a heavy girl and I want to tell my husband, can I please have a Peloton? Can you buy me one? Oh, here we go. Why is she no matter, or I'm skinny. Honey, I don't want to go pay a $5,000. We're paying $2,500 a year anyways in membership. I want a Peloton. Can you bring it home? I want that. Thank you so much for buying that. I've saved money. I can work out whenever I want to. But then that's a problem.
But then I got canceled when I commented. I said, I do wish she was a more realistic body type.
Right.
But I wish that for all advertising. Then they're like, why is she not a realistic body type? Just because she's a size 0. And I was like, oh my God. I'm just saying, the average size woman in America is a 14. Yeah. And they're actually saying it might be 16 now.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, she's not the size of the person that they are trying to reach with the ad. But if she was larger, she probably would, like you were saying, she would have just been like,
here we go. So here
now
has her
telling
husband.
her she has to
I think it would have been worse.
I think her husband is trying to tell her she got to lose weight. Here comes the husband, Captain Sable. Like, come on, you guys. Like, we got people buying out here guns. We got mass shootings. We're killing. We got so much bigger issues that we should be. Why aren't we saying cancel the NRA? Why aren't we saying cancel out all these other things that are destroying lives and people on a regular basis to the environment? Why aren't we canceling out that shit?
People love thinking they have the power to actually do something on social media.
Yeah,
I think it's really just. You know, you commenting and being like, "Bruh, you."
Yeah, you do. I mean, if you have true power, 9% in a day, like we do have the power.
But you also have the power to do the right thing.
Yeah, we should be using it for the right things. We're fighting.
Rise up.
Yeah, we're fighting. Yes, rise up. We're fighting over the dumbest stuff. I'm sitting there, okay, so are we going to worry about another child being shot at school?
Yes.
So instead of us being, let's get them bulletproof backpacks, how about we get canceled out and how we're going to figure out this gun shit? Like, instead of...
Sex trafficking that's been going on.
Like, so big.
It's like 75,000 black women and girls have been.
Well, the reason because of that is also people like the media doesn't do a lot of coverage.
They don't.
So no. I mean, look at what just happened to that poor girl that was at school. Some dude catcalled her. She didn't pay attention to him. He got pissed, choked her out, raped her, and killed her and dumped her body in her car. Like, these are things we should be worried about and canceling out, not some dumb Peloton, or because Dwayne Wade wants to support his son, or this is our women's lives and children's lives are in danger more and more every day, and people want to act like it is non-existent. Then now it's to the point where you have to be like, okay, do I park in a parking lot? Is it daytime or nighttime? Do I go solo? I don't go solo.
I thought about that all the time, though.
I did too. I do too. But now it's at a point where even if somebody they go back. Well, what if she was too far away to go back? She was like, listen, just leave me the fuck alone. And that's the thing. What makes men think that they're entitled to be able, if I say no, that's my right to say no. You get out of your fucking feelings. What is going on with our men?
But it hit closer to home for me when I'm hearing that it's happening in Lyfts, Uber.
Yes.
I don't want to ride in an Uber by myself anymore.
Did you hear the statistics of Uber? And they were talking about their safety. It was over 3,000 cases of rape.
And they're not doing it in Uber. They're not doing anything about it.
That's crazy.
For over 3,000 cases of rape, non-consensual sex, rape being taken. I mean, like, this is some crazy ass shit. And now they're to the point where, like, I don't even ride Uber. I ride Lyft. I find myself a little bit better with Lyft. I got my picture. There's a lot more, there's a lot of things that I feel a little bit safer more with Lyft than I do Uber.
Yeah.
But it's even to the point that you have to make sure your driver doesn't turn on the safety locks, the childproof locks in your car, because then they could take you to wherever the fuck they want to take you. And you can't get out. And now what? So, I mean, can we cancel fucking Uber?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Cancel Uber. I think that was,
Can we cancel Uber because the safety of our women and our children and people?
That's crazy.
But we're going to cancel on some Peloton shit.
So I feel like I always feel like I'm Superwoman and I can get out of any situation. So in the situation where these women are getting abused sexually, whatever kind of abuse they're experiencing, I would be like, okay, so. Can you call someone if you're like in the Uber? I'm always thinking of a way out. If you're in the Uber, they're not going where you say. I turn on my GPS to make sure they're going where they. I don't care if it's a male or female.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
turn on the GPS like, you're going like, no, actually, you can actually make this left right here.
And here's the thing. We also have to take some responsibility for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
We go out. We might drink a little bit too much. We think we have a safe ride with Lyft or Uber or, and you have to also check out your friends because I've noticed that a lot of times, oh, she was just drunk. I just called an Uber for her and threw her in the car. Like we have to have a more community and more responsibility responsibility for each other. And then, like I said, Uber as a company that's making millions off of our dollars. This is where you said we have the right. We go to social media, fucking cancel Uber until you do some shit. We should. That means background checks. That means whatever. What do we have to do? Do you have to buy fleets of cars? And if they're driving for you, making sure that there is none of this shit. Like, how are you going to make it happen? Our dollars are going into your pocket. So this is where I'm saying that, these canceling things, and yes, I think we can cancel shit out that is important, that needs to be canceled out, but these petty ass little things, where is our voice being heard?
Right.
That's the thing. Where are we putting our voices?
Yeah. I think it's important to just reiterate that we do have power. Our voices do count. And also, like, just to bring it back to politics for a minute, our votes do matter. I think
do.
feel like they don't matter.
Yes.
And because, there's gerrymandering and the districts are being changed and odds are being stacked against black and brown people. But don't let that discourage you to say, well, I'm not going to use my voice because you really can make
you really can, and that's where you put the people that are going to change the power and put it. If they're who one of my favorite people to talk is gosh, I'm going blank right now, but he is a very much guy, and I know he's a guy's guy, and I can't think of his name right now, but anyways, he talks. He talks about that if we, until we as a people start voting for people that are going to work for us, then we cannot say nothing. And until that happens and we start making it so I don't care if you're black, brown, what are you doing for me in my community? And start voting for these people in, we're going to always be stuck in this environment.
Which is true. And to kind of close it out, we're going to kind of end it off on there. Gave us a lot to think about, but I do have one question for everybody. What are your 2020 goals?
I feel like that 2020, I hope, is going to be a year of clarity for me. This year was a year of change. So I'm hopeful to really see through a lot of the things that I went through in 2019 and hopefully see a lot of growth with some things I have going on.
Perfect.
Well, I just got into a local 600 cinematographers union.
Yes.
So I'm expecting to at least shoot one of the features that I'm co-writing. So that would be great.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Wow, I have so many goals. How much time you got? I want to keep growing the Dates and Mates podcast, which is we're going to have our 300th episode in 2020.
Yes.
So I'll
make sure
I'll get a cake. Yes. I'll invite you to come. Give you a cupcake. So that's a big goal of mine because that's been a platform that has enabled me to do so many other things. But I'm focused this year on just continuing to amplify my voice to help people. Yeah. Relationships are so important. Who you choose to spend your time with is so important. And I think it's time that people put that quality of life before things like money and these social media.
You can't have a relationship by yourself with social media. It don't work.
That's true. That's true. I think for me, my 2020 goal is just to, continue to grow within myself and the things that I want to do and that I'm interested in, grow this podcast even further, and get back into filming. Hopefully, Tavi can film one of my projects.
I will. Certainly, you heard it here first.
Okay. And just honestly get my health, continue my path of staying healthy and working out and stuff like that and just keep moving. What about you?
For me, it's a whole new decade, so that's a whole new opportunity. I've planted, like I like to say, I planted many seeds, and now to see the seeds grow and turn into something. And they're slowly turning into things. It's just a matter of, the ending of the year. Let's see what 2020 brings, but definitely good health, because without health, it doesn't matter what you got. Just good health. Keep my, I have a good core of friends and family, my my family, keep that on it, and just really kind of progress and see what. I'm open to be honest. I'm a control freak. I have a really type A personality. I like things done in a certain way and kind of go. And so for me to be able to let go. And so 2020 is the year of letting go and just let.
I co-sign it.
Thank God, finally.
Let go.
Let go and let the seeds and everything that I've worked really hard to land and do where it's supposed to, and just let the universe take over and do what it's supposed to be. So that's a rule.
Toast to that.
Yeah, that's what it is. Toast to that.
Awesome.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Thank
Happy
you.
100th episode.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here. It was great. We always enjoy doing these little, how do you call it?
Get-togethers.
Yeah, and round tables and talk and have opinions and everything else. And so we will. We look forward to doing it again. Thank you for celebrating with us, and again to our listeners, thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you guys. We appreciate you guys. We adore you guys. We do this. As we said, we never thought, to be honest, we would be here. It all started with a wax in a room, and this is how. Waxing in a room. This podcast all came about, and I couldn't be more grateful. I love and as much of a hard time as I give my co-host, I love her to death. And
I can write a book on it.
Yes, and it would not be the same without her. This would have not been created without her. So in 2020, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit more slack, but that's the only part. A little more slack. But again, thank you guys. That's all I can say. This is pretty much it till the new year.
Yes, this is going to be kind of our hiatus.
Yeah, we're going to go on a little hiatus, take a break, because besides the 50 million jobs I have, she has as well. We're going to prep for 2020. So all we have to say is much love, blessings, enjoy your holidays, enjoy the new year. We'll definitely be back for 2020. Brand new stuff, brand new me. What about you?
I mean, you need to be brand new.
No, whatever. Brand new, you too. So again, thank you guys all for being here. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Take a little time to enjoy your brand of Moscato and Tea with us every day. Subscribe, rate, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and MoscatoandTea.com.